त्वांगंधर्वाघनस्तामिंद्रस्ताव्रियस्पते त्वामोखदे सोमराज विद्वानक्ष्मादमुच्यत श्रीखंडम चंदनम दिव्यम गंडाढ्यम सुमनोहरम विलेपनं श्रेष्ठां चंदनम प्रतिक्रियतां चंदनानुलेपनं समर्पयामि अक्षन्नमिव दंत्यजव प्रिया दुखदस्तु खदस्वाबानुभविप्राणविष्टयामतिजोजान् विन्द्रते हरि अक्षतान् समर्पयामि अक्षतान्ते बिल्मपत्राणि समर्पयामि नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमो वर्मिणे च बरुथिने च नमः श्रुताय श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च अनन्याय च भगवते श्रीगङ्गणपतये नमः लेफ्ट हैंड put it right hand no one time ओम सुमुखाय नमः ओम एकदंताय नमः ओम कपिलाय नमः ओम गजकर्णकाय नमः ओम लंबोदराय नमः ओम विकटाय नमः ओम विघ्ननाशाय नमः ओम विनायकाय नमः ओम धूम्रकेतवे नमः ओम गणदक्षाय नमः ओम भालचंद्राय नमः ओम गजाननाय नमः ओम वक्रतुंडाय नमः ओम शूर्पकर्णाय नमः ओम हेरंबाय नमः ओम स्कंदपूर्वजाय नमः ओम गंगणपतये नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि ओम धूरस्य धूर्वधूर्वन्तं धूर्वतं ज्योत्स्मान् धूर्वतितं धूर्वजं वयं धूर्वामः देवानामस्य वह्नितमगुंसस्नितमं वप्रितमं ज्येष्ठतमं देवहूतमं धूपमाघ्रापयामि प्रत्यक्षदीपं सन्दर्शयामि ओम चंद्रमा मनसो जातक्षजोः सूर्यो जायत स्रोत्राद्वायुश्च प्राणस्य मुखादग्निरजायत भगवते श्रीगङ्गणपतये नमः प्रत्यक्षदीपं सन्दर्शयामि नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि ओम नाभ्यासिदन्तरिक्षगुंसिष्णुर्द्योः समवर्तत पद्भ्याम्भो मृदिशः स्रोत्रान् तथा लोकामकल्पयन् नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि श्रीफलं समर्पयामि मुक्षुद्यार्ताम्बूलानि समर्पयामि यत्पुरुषेण विखादेवाय नमतन्वतव सन्तोषासिदाज्यङ्ग्रेक्ष्महित्मः शरद्भवेः भगवते श्रीगङ्गणपतये नमः ताम्बूलानि समर्पयामि द्रव्यदक्षिणां समर्पयामि हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतसजातः पतिरेकासीद सदाधार पृथिविद्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय विखाविदेमः गङ्गणपतये नमः ओम कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भगवते श्रीगङ्गणपतये नमः कर्पूरार्तिक्यं समर्पयामि विशेष प्रार्थना ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षविर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनुर्वसेमहि देवहितं जदायुः ओम नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं धृतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुजानवशिष्यम् अववस्तातात् अववृस्तात् अवत्रातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवजोर्धातात् अवाध्रातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्ददित्योऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं तत् जायते सर्वं जगदिदं तत्तिष्ठते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयैलयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापनलो नीलो नमः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वमवस्थत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारास्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वं योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं विष्णु त्वं रुद्रस्तं इन्द्रस्तं अग्निस्तं वायुस्तं सूर्यस्तं चन्द्रमास्तं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्सरं गणादीन् पूर्वोच्चार्य व्रणादिस्तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वरपरतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तमनुस्वरूपं गकारपूर्वमरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारस्सान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नादसन्धानं सहितासन्धिः सहसा गणेश विद्या गणकरिषे नित्रद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशाङ्कुशमधारिणं रदञ्च वरदं हस्ते बिभ्राणमुषकध्वजां रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युताम् आविर्भूताञ्च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात्तरम् एवं ध्यायन्ति यो नित्यं स योगिनां वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रथमपतये नमस्ते स्तुलम्बोदराय कदन्ताय विघ्नाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमः विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरप्रियाय लम्बोदराय सकलाय जगद्दिताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञविभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ओम अनेन पूजनेन श्री गणपति देवता प्रियंताम नमः। बोलिए गणपति भगवान की जय। कलश देवता प्रार्थनाम ओम वर्णसौदम मनमसि वर्णसस्कम सर्जनिस्तो वर्णसरित सदन्यसि वर्णसरित सदनमसि वर्णसरित सदनमासेद ओम बम वरुणाय अपाम पतये सांगाय सपरिवाराय सशक्तिकाय नमः। कलशस्य मुखे विष्णु कंठे रुद्र समाश्रिता मूले दुष्टस्थितो ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृगणा स्मृता कुक्षौ दुसागरा सप्त सप्तद्वीपा च वेदिनी अर्जुनी गोमती चैव चंद्रभागा सरस्वती ऋग्वेदोऽथ यजुर्वेद सामवेद अथर्वण अंगैश्च सहिता सर्वे कलशं तु समाश्रिता ओम मनोर्ज्योतिर्जुखताम यस्य बृहस्पतिर्यज्ञमिमन्तनोत्तरिष्टं यज्ञगुं समिमं दधातु विश्वे देवासह्यमादयन्तामो प्रतिष्ठा। भगवते श्री बम वरुणाय अपां पतये नमः। ध्यानार्थे पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि आह्वयामि स्थापयामि अक्षतान् समर्पयामि बम वरुणाय नमः। ओम भाद्रपाद्यं फॉर टाइम ओम भाद्रपाद्यं समर्पयामि ओम हस्तवर्गं समर्पयामि मुखे आचमनीयं जलं समर्पयामि सर्वांग स्नानं जलं समर्पयामि। पितृकार्य उल्टा देव कार्य सीधा। मिलित वन टाइम मिलितोपचार पंचामृत स्नानम ओम पंचनद्यः सरस्वतीमपि यन्ति सस्रोदश सरस्वती तु पंचदा स्वदेशे भवत्सरेत पंचामृतमया नीतं पयोदधि घृतं मधु शर्करा समायुक्तं स्नानार्थं प्रतिगृहदाम शुद्धोदक स्नानं समर्पयामि। शुद्धोदक स्नानान्ते वस्त्रोपवस्त्रम् ओम जुवासुवासा परिवीताग सौश्रेयान् भवति जायमानतं धीरास कवयोन्नयन्ति स्वाध्यो मनसा देवयन्त वस्त्रम् उपवस्त्रं समर्पयामि। भगवते बम वरुणाय नमः। चन्दनानुलेपनम् ओम गन्धद्वारां दर्दासां नित्यपुष्टां करेषिणीं ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां तामियोपवये श्रियं भगवते बम वरुणाय अपां पतये नमः। सांगाय सपरिवाराय सशक्तिकाय नमः। चन्दनानुलेपनं समर्पयामि। चन्दनानुलेपनान्ते कुङ्कुमादि समर्पयामि। अक्षदान समर्पयामि। अक्षन्मे वदन्त जब प्रियादु खतस्तो खत स्वावानव विप्राण विष्टयामति जोजान बिन्द्रते हरि अक्षदान समर्पयामि। अक्षदान्ते ओम ओम वरुणाय नमः। ओम प्रचितसे नमः। ओम सुरूपिणे नमः। ओम अपां पतये नमः। ओम करवाहनाय नमः। ओम जलाधिपतये नमः। ओम पाशस्ताय नमः। ओम अनाकर्मणि भूषणाय नमः। ओम वरुणाय नमः। ओम नानाविध परिमल पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। भगवते बम वरुणाय पांपतये नमः। धूपमाघ्रापयामि। ओम धूरसि धुर्वधुर्वन्तं धुर्वतं जोष्मान् धुर्वतितं धुर्वजं वयं धुर्वामः। देवानामसि वह्नितमगों सस्नितमां बभृतमां जुष्टतमां देवहूतमं वनस्पतिरसोद्भूतो गन्धाढ्यो गन्ध उत्तमाग्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यतां। धूपमाग्रापयामि प्रत्यक्षदीपं संदर्शयामि। ओम चंद्रमा मनसो जातचोः सूर्यजायत श्रोत्राद्वायुश्च प्राणस्य मुखादग्निरजायत। भगवते श्रीबंवरुणाय नमः। प्रत्यक्षदीपं संदर्शयामि। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। ओम नाभ्या आसीदन्तरिक्षगुंसिष्णुर्द्यौः संवर्तत पद्भ्याम्भो मृदिशः श्रोत्रान् तथा लोकाम् अकल्पयन्न। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। श्रीफलं समर्पयामि। मुखशुद्ध्यार्ताम्बूलानि समर्पयामि। भगवते वामवरुणाय अपाम्पतये नमः। आचमनीं जलं समर्पयामि। ब्राणाय स्वाहा, अपनाय स्वाहा, व्यानाय स्वाहा, समनाय स्वाहा, उदनाय स्वाहा। मध्यमध्यपानीम् आचमनीं जलं समर्पयामि। द्रव्यदक्षिणां समर्पयामि। ओम हिरण्यगर्भ समवर्तताग्रे भूतसजातः पतिरेकासीद सदाधार प्रतिविद्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय अविखाभिधेमः। द्रव्यदक्षिणां समर्पयामि। बं वरुणाय पाम्पतये नमः। ओम कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भगवते वरुणाय नमः। पाम्पतये नमः। कर्पूरार्तिक्यं समर्पयामि। नमस्करोमि। नमो नमस्ते स्फटिकप्रभाय सुश्वेतहाराय सुमङ्गलाय सुपासस्ताय जशासनाय जलाधिनाथाय नमो नमस्ते। वं वरुणाय अपाम्पतये सांगाय सपरिवाराय सशक्तिकाय नमः। अनेन पूजनेन श्री वरुणदेवता प्रियंतां न मम। बोलिए वरुणदेव भगवान की जय।
समत्पात्सुतमर्गणो व्याघ्रगतिम्बासं विश्वबीजं निखलभयहरं पञ्चवक्त्रं
त्रिनेत्रं नमः पार्वतीपतये हर 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 महादेव शम्भो। ध्यानार्घ्यपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि।
आवाहनं समर्पयामि। नमः।
आसनं समर्पयामि। नमः। श्रीशाम्ब सदाशिवाय नमः। सर्वेश्वराय महादेवाय महामृत्युञ्जयाय नमः।
ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आसनं समर्पयामि। आसनं
समर्पयामि। नमः। पयो दिव्यन्तरिक्षे पयोधाः पयस्वती प्रधिशा सन्तु मह्यम्। पयामि स्नानं। पयोदधिकृतं मधु शर्करा समायुक्तं स्नानार्थं प्रतिगृह्यताम् ॐ सदाशिवाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यप उतोत इषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यां मुदते नमः। यात इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमिदयं याते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत अध्यवोचदधिवक्तां प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक अहीगस्य सर्वा आञ्जम्बयन् सर्वा आशयातु धान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्र अभितो दुक्षु श्रुताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेर इमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृदयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्तमभयोराट्नियोर्ज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवोऽपम् अपतत्यधुनस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु धे निशील्यशल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विद्यं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो वानवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीढुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तयास्मान् विशतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजं नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाया नातथाय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मा वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितं शम्भवे नमः। ॐ नमस्तयस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्वशीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्रुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मत्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय कृन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृष्णवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गिने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिन इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रिकाभिभ्यो जिह्वागुंसभ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमभ्यो नक्तञ्चरभ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषिमभ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छभ्यो विसृजभ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यभ्यो विद्येभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो चाकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठभ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो स्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्याधिनेभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगनाभ्यस्त्रिगुंहतीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जेष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषकृभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यः श्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभ्यः स्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः सर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शशधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिविविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ओ ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाचिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय चावस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ओ ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय चापरजाय च नमो मध्यमाय चापगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्धियाय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वव्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय चावसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः स्रवाय च प्रतिस्रवाय च नमः आशुसेनाय चासुरथाय च नमः शूराय चापभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिने च वरूथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूत्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः इद्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय चारुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लात्याय च नमः शस्प्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च परवार्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो ओ हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः ऊर्व्याय च सूर्व्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमो पगुरमानाय च भिघ्नते च नमः आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो किरिकेभ्यो देवानागुं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नम आनिर्हतेभ्यो नम आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहित येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनामाभेद्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत् या ते रुद्रशिवा तनु शिवा विश्वाः भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृतजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तपसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीरारभरामहे मतिं यथा नः समसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरं मृदानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृधीक्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छञ्चयोश्च मरुराय जे पिता ततस्यामत्तव रुद्रप्रणीतो मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भगं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितं मानोऽवधिः पितरं मोत मातरं प्रिया मानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषि मानो गोषो मानो अश्वेषुरीरिचः वीरान् मानो रुद्रभामितो वधि हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरात्ते गोघ्न उत पूरुषग्निक्षयद्वीराय नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव ब्रूह्यदा च नः शर्म यच्छति बर्हाः स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्तसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रं मृदा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मिन्निव पन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्विनक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरामघवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृदय मीढुष्टमशिवतमा शिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्यं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रतागहि विकिरीतविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रकुम्भेतयोन्यमस्मिन्निपपन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रधा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीसानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृधि सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्या आं तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवे एन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठा सर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपसृताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्मिञ्चरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयोभिशिखासः कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु विपतो जनान् ये पथां पथे रक्षय ऐलभृदायुव्युतः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रिकावन्तो निशङ्किनः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये एन्तरिक्षे ये दिव्येषामण्डं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणादश प्रतीचीर्दशोतीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृदयन्तु तेयं यश्च नो द्वेषितं वोचं भेदधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नो यो अप्सु य ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विपेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टुहि यस्विषु सुधन्वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा आवहे सो ॐ मनसायं रुद्रं नमो ओभेर्देवमसुरं ध्रुवस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभे एषजो यगं शिवाभिमर्शनः ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्योर्वर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वान् वयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि प्राणानाग्रथिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेनाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि सदाशिवों ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ निधनपतान्तकाय नमः ऊर्ध्वाय नमः ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः हिरण्याय नमः हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः सुवर्णाय नमः सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः दिव्याय नमः दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः भवाय नमः भवलिङ्गाय नमः सर्वाय नमः सर्वलिङ्गाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवलिङ्गाय नमः ज्वलाय नमः ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः आत्माय नमः आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः परमाय नमः परमलिङ्गाय नमः एतत् सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गस्थापयते पानिमन्त्रं पवित्रं सत्यो जातं प्रबध्यामि सत्यो जाताय वे नमो नमः भवे भवे नाति भवे भवस्व मां भवोद्भवाय नमः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकर्णाय नमो बलविकर्णाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः शाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् ईशान सर्वविद्यानामीश्वर सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपते ब्रह्मणोऽधिपते ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवों नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अंबिकाय पतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। पतये महादेव की जय। पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। काशी विश्वनाथ महा जय। साम सदा शिवाय नमः।
शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा सदा शिवा हे सांब शिवा सदा शिवा हे सांब शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा अम्बा सहिता सांब शिवा अम्बा सहिता सांब शिवा हे सदा शिवा सांब शिवा हे सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा सदा शिवा हे सांब शिवा सदा शिवा हे सांब शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा अम्बा सहिता सांब शिवा अम्बा सहिता सांब शिवा हे सदा शिवा सांब शिवा हे सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा सदा शिवा हे
अपने नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय तेरा पल पल बीता जाए अपने नमः शिवाय तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुझसे जब नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
ही मेरा धर्म, शिव ही मेरा करम, शिव ही मेरा धर्म, शिव ही मेरा करम। साथी है ये धरती गगन, साथी है ये धरती गगन। मेरे मन वीरा की तरी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारी, मैंने शिव से लगानी लगन, लगन मेरे शिव से लगानी लगन। मेरे मन वीरा की तरी हर पल शिव का नाम पुकारी, मैंने शिव से लगानी लगन, लगन मेरे शिव से लगानी लगन, लगन मेरे शिव से लगानी लगन।
हरे हरे शिव शिव ओम, दम दम डमरू बजे शिव ओम। हरे हरे शिव शिव ओम, दम दम डमरू बजे शिव ओम। त्रिशूलधारी गंगाधारी, त्रिशूलधारी गंगाधारी, हर हर शिव शिव ओम, हर हर शिव शिव ओम, हर हर शिव शिव ओम। दम दम डमरू बजे शिव ओम। शंभु शंकर हे अभयंकर, शंभु शंकर हे अभयंकर, हर हर शिव शिव ओम, हर हर शिव शिव ओम, हर हर शिव शिव ओम। दम दम डमरू बजे शिव ओम, हरे हरे शिव शिव, हरे हरे शिव शिव, हरे हरे शिव शिव ओम। हर भोलानाथा उमापते, शंभो शंकर पशुपते, हर भोलानाथा उमापते, शंभो शंकर पशुपते। कैलाशवासा चिरमनेशा नीलकण्ठा सदाशिवा कैलाशवासा चिरमनेशा नीलकण्ठा सदाशिवा मम मम हर हर भोला महेश्वर मम मम हर हर भोला महेश्वर पार्वती रमना सदाशिवा पार्वती रमना सदाशिवा हर भोला नाथा उमापते शम्भो शङ्कर पशुपते हर भोला नाथा उमापते शम्भो शङ्कर पशुपते नन्दिवाना नागभूषणा चन्द्रशेखरा चतानना नन्दिवाना नागभूषणा चन्द्रशेखरा चतानना गङ्गाधर हर गौरी मनोहर गङ्गाधर हर गौरी मनोहर गिरिजाकन्ता सदाशिवा हर मोला नाथा उमापते शम्भो शङ्कर पशुपते हर मोला नाथा उमापते शम्भो शङ्कर पशुपते शम्भो शङ्कर पशुपते शम्भो शङ्कर पशुपते
बोले शंकर भगवान की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। वरुण Om. All right, everybody, let's stand for darshan. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudraha Prachodayat। Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव
हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय
ओ हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव
हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव
हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव हर 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 महादेव दिल ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
ओ कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 विश्वेशं माधवं धुन्धिं दन्दपानिं च भैरवं वन्दे काशीं गुह्यां गंगा भवानी मणिकर्णिका अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शंकर प्राणवल्लभे ज्ञान वैराग्य सिद्ध्यार्थं भिक्षां देहि च पार्वती माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देव महेश्वर बांधव शिव भक्तस्य सर्वन भुवनेश्वर अनेन पूजनेन श्री भवानी शंकराय अन्नपूर्ण दिव्ये नमः नमो नमः बोले भवानी शंकर भगवान की जय नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो प्लीज कम नाउ प्लीज सिट एवरीवन
शिव शंभो शंभो शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो शंभो शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शंभो शंभो शिव शंभो महादेवा हरे 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 हर महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा हरे 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 हर महादेवा शिव शंभो महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा अनाहरिदर शम्भो अनाथनाथ शम्भो अनाहरिदर शम्भो अनाथनाथ शम्भो हरि ओम हरि ओम नमः शिवाय हरि ओम नमः शिवाय हरि ओम नमः शिवाय हरि ओम नमः शिवाय शिव शम्भो शम्भो शिव शम्भो महादेवा शिव शम्भो शम्भो शिव शम्भो महादेवा हरे 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 महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा हरे 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 महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा
बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरप्रियाय लंबोदराय सकलाय जगदिताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञविभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। शंकरं संप्रदं सज्जनानंदनं शैलकन्यावरं परमरम्यं शंकरं संप्रदं सज्जनानंददं शैलकन्यावरं परमरम्यं काममदमोचलं तामरसलोचनं वामदेवं भजे भावगम्यं शंकरं संप्रदम्। खम्बुकुन्देन्द्र कर्पूरगौरं शिवं सुन्दरं सच्चिदानन्दनन्दं सिन्धदः सनकया गोववृन्दारका विष्णुविधिवदन् चरणवृन्दं शङ्करं शम्प्रदम् लोकनाथं शोकशूलनिर्मूलनं शूलिनं मोहतं भूरिभानुं कालकालं कलातीतमजहरं कठिनकलिकालकान् कृशानुं शङ्करं सम्प्रदं सज्जनानन्ददं शैलकन्या वरं परमरम्यं काममदमोचनं तामरसलोचनं वामदेवं भजे वामगम्यं शङ्करं सम्प्रदं शङ्करं सम्प्रदं शङ्करं सम्प्रदम् ॐ सांब सदाशिवाय नमः। बोले शंकर भगवान की जय। नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै नकाराय
नमः शिवाय।
मंदाकिनी सलिलचन्दनचर्चिताय नन्दीश्वर प्रमथनाथ महेश्वराय मंदार पुष्प बहु पुष्प पूजिताय तस्मै मकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै मकाराय
नमः शिवाय।
शिवाय गौरी वदनारवृन्द सूर्याय दक्षाधरनाशिकाय श्रीनीलकण्ठाय वृषध्वजाय तस्मै शिकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै शिकाराय
नमः शिवाय।
वसिष्ठकुम्भोद्भव गौतमार्य मुनीन्द्रदेवार्चितशेखराय चन्द्रार्कवैष्णवलोचनाय तस्मै वकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै वकाराय
नमः शिवाय।
यक्षस्वरूपाय जटाधराय पिनाकहस्ताय सनातनाय दिव्याय देवाय दिगंबराय तस्मै यकाराय नमः शिवाय तस्मै नकाराय नमः
शिवाय।
ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ॐ 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 नमः
शिवाय।
शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ सौराष्ट्रे सोमनाथं च श्रीशैले मल्लिकार्जुनम् उज्जयेन्यं महाकालम् ओंकारं मलेश्वरम् पराल्यां वैद्यनाथं च दाकिन्यं भीमशङ्करम् सेतुबन्धे तु रामेशं नागेशं दारुकावने वाराणस्यां तु विश्वेशं त्र्यम्बकं गौतमी तटे हिमालये तु केदारं ग्रीष्मे च शिवालये एतानि ज्योतिर्लिङ्गानि सायं प्रातपते नरं सप्त जन्म कृतं पापं स्मरणेन विनश्यति सांब सदा शिवाय नमः बोले उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की सिया भज रामचंद्र की जय वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की सद्गुरुदेव महाराज की श्री जगदम्बिका माता की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय श्री राम everyone. Welcome all of you to our session of Shraavan Mass. Those of you in the temple and of course those of you online. This evening we are very blessed to be here to join with all of you in satsang as we do every evening. This evening we want to thank our Shrotas, Anjali and Akash, who performed puja to Bhagwan Ganesha, to Kalash Dev, and also to Bhagwan Shiva Rudra Abhishekam. They are no stranger to our community here in Bhavani Shankar Mandir. Akash has been here for many years serving this temple, serving our community and serving our people. And his work is very selfless to this organization. He is of course Sita's nephew, and he's studying in this country, and the time that he has dedicated for this mandir is very timeless, countless. We cannot even imagine what would happen if Akash is not here. So we want to ask Bhagwan's blessings to him. He's giving thanks to Bhagwan for blessing him with many things in life. With schooling, he's finishing off his schooling this year. And we hope and pray that the Lord will continue to bless him in abundance. And to his sister Anjali, of course, who is no stranger to our temple and our community. She rejoined us in Canada this year to continue her studies, and she's doing wonderful in school. May Bhagavati Mata and Bhagwan always bless her in abundance as well. Today as well is Dr. Sharmila Tilak's birthday. She is living in Florida. She's Asha's sister. So Dr. Sharmila, we want to wish you happy birthday and all the best to you. She is no stranger to me or my family. She is actually family to us, and we'd like to wish her happy birthday as she celebrates this blessed day with family and friends. We send you blessings in abundance from Bhavani Shankar Mandir, from the feet of Lord Shiva himself. This evening we'd like to talk a little bit about the greatness. Last night we talked about Nandi, and we'll ask some questions who Nandi is. Yesterday, the day before, we spoke about the Shiv Lingam and the auspiciousness of worshipping the Lingam. Today we will speak about a place where Shiv Bhagwan is considered to be a place that is special, not for Shivji, but for all of us. That place geographically it's somewhere in India, but that place is present wherever Shivji is present. So we'll talk about that place today and what we do to embrace Bhagwan Shivji. हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तारते भव से तार से शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले बम भोले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभो लो पर नाम है मंगलकारी, जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी। लो पर नाम है मंगलकारी, जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी। सच्चा वर दो दीन जनों को, हे भोला भंडारी। सच्चा वर दो दीन जनों को, हे भोला भंडारी। आज तिहारी शरण में आए दाता मोह बचा दे, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले बम भोले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभो मृत्यु तेरे चरण दबाए, विषधर अंक में खेले। मृत्यु तेरे शरण दबाए, विषधर अंक में खेले। भूत और प्रेत निकट नहीं आवे, शिव शिव नाम तुले। भूत और प्रेत निकट नहीं आवे, शिव शिव नाम तुले ले। उसका मन फिर क्यों भर माया, जिसको तू ही संभाले। दुख तारते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले। ओ हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तारते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाले, 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 शंभु भोले भाले। ओ शंभु भोले भाले। प्रेम से बोलो शंकर भगवान की जय। भगवान शिव जी, पंडित जी एक टिश्यू लाइए ना, टिश्यू। तौलिया, these flowers are having a little. So one day, Bhagwan Shivji and Ma Parvati was having a discussion. And Ma Parvati asked Bhagwan Shivji that, "Oh Bhagwan, tell me the characteristics of a jiva. Tell me the characteristics of a jiva." What is a jiv? Jiv. Jiv is a human being. So we have a jiv atma. Jiv atma means the soul of a human being that has come from Paramatma. So what are the characteristics of a human being? And this is a question asked by Mata Parvati. Now the Lord is going to respond. Harsh vishad jnana ajnana जीव धर्म अहमति अभिमाना राम ब्रह्म व्यापक जग जाना परमानंद परेश purana. Harasha vishada jnana ajnana. Every single human being. Harasha vishada jnana ajnana. As long as you're a jiva, you're a human being, then you possess the following. Jnana ajnana. You possess knowledge and ignorance. We possess harasha vishad, joy and sorrows. Joy and sorrows, knowledge and ignorance, jiva dharma ahimati abhimana. We possess egoism and pride. These are the characteristics of a human being. Without doubt, we will possess these things. I told you last night or the night before, I think, that even the devatas, remember Raja Indra, he give you own katha now, you know. I've got to find a little seat for you, know, put he give you own katha. So you sit down like a biasto. I don't know what this. Anyways, only one katha at a time. Me katha first. Such a cute baby. So Bhagavan Shiv says, as long as you're a human being, you know, even the devatas, they had envy in them. Remember, I told you last night, I believe, when Krishna Bhagavan lifted the mountain, when people were going to pray to the mountain in Bhagavatam, Govardhan, Indra became so jealous. He had so much pride in him. He is a god, god of the thunder, of the rains. If he had egoism and pride, imagine what would happen to the ordinary people, right? So jiva, as long as we're a human being, we possess the sorrows, the joy, knowledge, ignorance, egoism and pride. These are the characteristics of a human. But there is one who don't possess any of that. Who is that? Ram Brahm Brahma Vyapak Jagjana Paramanand Paresh Purana. Ram Bhagavan, Shivji is saying, Ram, as all the world knows, is the all-pervading Lord, Brahman. Supreme, He's blissful, and He's supreme to all forms of life. Paresha Purana. There's a name called Purushottam. I don't know if you've heard that name before. Purushottam. Purushottam means Purush Uttam, the highest order of creation of man on this earth. That was Ram Bhagwan. He is not subjected to these opposites: joy, sorrows, knowledge, ignorance, egoism, and pride. He's not subjected to this. Human beings are subject to this. Why is the Lord not subjected to this? Of course, because He is Narayana. He is Ram. Parvati Mata further asks that what has Ram done in his life as a human being to not be subjected to the pairs of opposites: joy and sorrows, knowledge and ignorance, egoism and pride? Because he was in the form of a human being. So what has he done? And Bhagwan Shivji says, apart from being Narayana, he has done tapasya. Tapasya is something we spoke. Tapa means to melt. Tapa means to reform, to change. It does not mean that you only fast and you abstain for certain food. It means you change. Literally, you change the way you live your life. Whether it is, disassociating yourself with certain company, or still having the company but not associating with the work that they do, or stop, distance yourself from speaking certain way, thinking certain way, acting certain way. That is tapasya. And tapa bal, Ramayana says, tap is the strength, melting is the strength of a human being. But when tapasya is done, tapasya must be done at certain places, at certain times, which is today's katha. Bhagwan Shivji says he's going to tell us now about the glory of a place called Kashi. Every one of you probably have heard of Kashi, and I'm not sure if you have, but we'll talk about tonight. It's great for us to know these things. This is history, this is our dharma, so we must know these things. But first, let's recap quickly. Last night, what did we talk about? Tusara, you were here last night. What did we talk about last night? We talked about Who was Nandi? Good. Who else was here last night? Aditya, you're not here. Oma, you were here last night? Who was Nandi? Shiva, right? So Nandi is not a bull or just a bull or any other bull. Nandi is Shivji himself. Okay, the most difficult question now. Who was Nandi's father? Who was Nandi's father? Who was Nandi's father? Who was here last night? Sita? No, remember? All right. I forgot. God Daddy. So Bhagwan Shivji says his name was Shilad. Shilad became the father of the three worlds. Right? So Shilad became the father of Nandi. How was Nandi born? Who was his mother? Who was his mother, Oma? He didn't have one. What was the condition of his birth? Oh, Barun, you weren't here. Did you listen to the katha when you go home, Barun? You didn't listen to the katha? You mean you don't go home and listen to my katha all night? Okay. You were listening to the katha last night? Okay. Huh? No human contact. He would not be born, he would be born from no human contact. That's his condition. Because God does not come from anybody's womb. So he was born, so he became Nandi and he became the leader of the Ganas. Okay. So in a place called Kashi, Kashi now is a place, of course, where lots of things happened. We will look at Kashi now and have an idea how we can help ourselves knowing about this a little bit. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Atha Param Pravakshami Shriyatam Rishi Sattama Vishveshwarasya Mahatmyam Mahapathakanashanam Chidananda Swarupam Cha Nirvikaram Sanatanam Tasyeva Kevalyato Dvitiryecha Tato Bhavatah. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Chidananda Swarupabhyam Purusha Pati Nirmito Advatashtam Tadatabhyam Swabhavan Muni Sattama Tavaddat Krishna Tadatocha Sabhapatri Tadodvija Mahasamshaya Mahapanno Prakriti Cha Purushasyato. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Oh Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Tapasyastu sthalam nasti kutravabhyam prabodhuna sthitva tapa prakritavyam tava shasanava shivaha. Prakriti and Purusha, the creation of God. Now what happens here now? There was a time when Bhagwan Shivji and Mata Parvati built a beautiful city called Kashi. Kashi is in India physically, and it's a place called Varanasi. It's a very different place. Lots of different things happen there. That is where the beautiful lingam Kashi Vishwanath Bhagwan is. It is a Jyotirlingam, one of the 12 Jyotirlingam. A beautiful city was built by Shivji, which was the essence of luster, and of course, it spread a lot of divinity at that point in time. Bhagwan Vishnu came into that city called Kashi when he heard it was beautifully built by Shiva and Parvati. When he came there, Bhagwan Vishnu came there, and when he came there, he wore earrings, of course. The Lord always wore earrings. Now you may say, Panaji, what is that? Does that mean boys can wear earrings? I have a video on that on YouTube. Boys can wear earring, providing that you wear it for the right reasons. If you do Karnaveda Sanskar, and at that time your ears were pierced, Karnaveda Sanskar means Karnaveda. The ears are pierced and open now to listen to the Vedas and practice the Vedas. It has become a style, unfortunately, but there is nothing. I do not, as you know, criticize people for doing what they want to do. I just made a very detailed, very researched video about boys wearing earrings. If you wish, you can look at it on YouTube. It is there with the researches. So Bhagwan Vishnu wore the earrings and he came to this city. And when he came to the city, the Lord, of course, he was so immersed in devotion, and he shook his head at Bhagwan Narayana. He shook his head, and from his ear, the gem from his earring fell in the city. And where that gem fell, that place, it is called Mani Karnika. Mani Karnika. Mani means the gem, and Karnika is the place. It's known as Mani Karnika. That place is still there today. Mani Karnika is one of the 2 places in the world where cremation happens 24 hours, 365 days of the year. It is called Manikarnika Ghat. I myself have done some sadhana at that ghat. That is where they cremate people, right? There is a place on this earth that if you die, you guarantee are going to the realm of Shivji. There's a place on this earth, if you go there and practice sadhana, guaranteed you will be blessed, because just your body is there, right? Just like if it is raining outside and guaranteed you go and you don't wear an umbrella or raincoat, you will be wet. Or the sun is hot outside and you go and you haven't worn any protection, you will have sunburn. Or the winter is on, you go, you'll get cold. The minute you're in a space, a particular space, you will take whatever that space has to give to you. Similarly, this place called Kashi, one of the beautiful things about it, it has a place called Manikarnika, where the gem from the ears of Bhagwan Vishnu fell. And then when it fell there, what happens, my friends? The Lord Bhagwan Vishnu was there, and the Lord Bhagwan Vishnu says, it is time now for creation to occur. Our scriptures tell you how creation occurred. The Lord lay down, of course, and what happened to him? Shantakaram bhujagashayanam padmanabham suresham padmanabham suresham. As he lay down, he started to now begin creation. What was it that he created? From his navel, in Kashi, from his navel came Brahma, Padmanabham Suresham. There's a beautiful temple in India called Padmanabha Swami Temple, the richest temple in the world, richer than Rome and everywhere else. Very rich. That is the temple of Lord Vishnu. But he lay down in Kashi, and from his navel came Bhagwan Brahma. Vishnur staterastu pratva prakrityam vaistriya saha tadha bhikala jato Brahma Shankar Shasanat. Brahma was born out of the navel of Bhagwan Vishnu, seated over the lotus, of course. And then at the command of Shiva, he indulged, of course, in all types of creation. Bhagwan Brahma created the 14 lokas. 14 lokas, 7 up, 7 down. We know what that is. And then the size of the globe has been described by the sages as 50 crores yojanas. Anyway, there's a huge description of how the size of the globe and everything matches our science. And what happened now? Brahma Bhagwan began creation. In so doing, iktyuktva trishula sthavad, Bhagwan, having now orchestrated the whole creation, what did the Lord do? He took his trishul and he placed it below Kashi. It is written in our text that Kashi, that city of Shiva, is the capital city of the Lord. He lives everywhere, but the capital city, just like you have capital of everywhere else, the capital city of Mahadev is Kashi. And Kashi is rested on the Trishul of the Lord. It's rested on the Trishul of Lord Shiva. Bhagwan Shiva grounded Kashi with the tip of his Trishul and established it on this earth, my friends. And even after, of course, all of this, the Lord told us what happens there. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Bolo Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Anyatra praptayo muktir sarupyadir munishwara aneva prapyate jive sajujya muktiruttama. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Bolo Om Namah Shivaya,
Namah Shivaya, Namah.
Om
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah.
Yesham kwapi gatir nasti tesham varanasi puri panchakoshi mahapunya yakoti vinashini. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. Bolo Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah. 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 Anayatra prapyate mukti sarupyadirvu munishwara aneva prapyate jive sajujya muktiruttama. It is said here in our scriptures that when you pray in Kashi, so important it is to be at the place where the Lord resides, you know. All religion have their own places. In the Muslim faith or Muslim brothers and sisters, they are mandated at least one in their life to go to a place called Hajj, right? I think all of us know that. You go to a place called Hajj, where they go and they pray and they do all sorts of things. When they go there, they eat pure vegetarian meals. You have to speak to the people who go there. It is so well kept and everything. For the Christians, they also have mandated at least once in their life to visit Jerusalem and so on. Well, the Hindus, we also have mandates, right? And among the many places you can visit, it is very, very important that we take a pilgrimage. It is called a Tirth Yatra. Tirth Yatra means a pilgrimage, a journey of pilgrimage. And what do you do in Tirth Yatra? It's not for sightseeing. When we go to India, it is never for sightseeing. If you want to go sightseeing, you can take a couple-hour flight and go anywhere nice, anywhere around here. But going to India, Bharat Desh, Bharat Mata, it is not for sightseeing, it is for Tirth Yatra. It is for seeing and experiencing the Lord in some way. This place called Kashi, what happens there? The Lord says, Anayatra prapyate mukti sarupyadir nimushvaraha. That it is guaranteed that if one goes to Kashi, one gets the highest form of mukti. The highest form of mukti. Now you know about mukti, what does mukti mean? Anybody tell me what mukti mean? Mukti, what does mukti mean? We're all aspiring for mukti. What does mukti mean? Salvation. Thank you. Mukti means salvation, freedom from everything, right? So yesterday we talked about Jivan Mukti in this birth, and then salvation. But Maharshi Puran tells us, the Lord is saying when you go to Kashi, pray to Bhagwan Shivji, you get what you get, Sayujya Mukti. Means that there are 5 types of salvation. Prapyate Mukti Sarupyadir Munishwara. What are the 5 types of Mukti? According to our scriptures, there is Samipya Mukti. You can be, and this means you are staying close to Bhagwan. There are 5 stages of freedom. The one is to stay close to God, right? Close to Bhagwan. It doesn't mean that you will give up everything and give up everywhere else, and it means that although you're doing your dishes at home, although you're doing your work on your computer, although you're doing your work in the fields, although you're doing your work in the warehouses, or wherever you work or do things, or although you're taking care of your kids, you are close to Bhagwan. We do have the habit of saying, I'm close to people. I'm close to a lot of people. But can we say, I am close to God? How do you know when you're close to God? You serve Bhagwan. You serve the Lord. You serve the Lord's creation. When we do those things, when you do your puja, your rituals, you care for human beings, you care for creation, you're close to God. That's the first stage of mukti. Mukti have 5 stages. That is called Samipya Mukti. Then you have Sarshti Mukti. The second stage of Mukti is called Sarshti Mukti. And what is Sarshti Mukti? Attaining opulences similar to Bhagwan. You attain certain powers similar to God, right? That's the second stage of Mukti. There are many people who can do a lot of things. It does not mean that they're God. It means they have attained certain behavior close to God. That's the second stage of Mukti. Then there is Sarupya Mukti. Sarupya Mukti means assuming a bodily form similar to Bhagwan. A bodily form similar to God. That is the third stage. And the Shiv Puran tells us, hey, atraiva praptaye jive sajujya mukti ruttama. Then number 4, Salokya Mukti. Salokya Mukti, living in the lok, living in the place of God, where Bhagwan lives, Salokya Mukti. That's the 4th stage of salvation. Living in the lok of Bhagwan. We're going to revisit this again because it's important to understand where is the place, where is the lok of the Lord. And number 5, which is the highest form of mukti, the highest stage of freedom that we can have, which Shiv Puran says is called Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti is a state of absolute unity with God. That is when you become one with God. I want to ask you all this question. Do you have to die in order to attain any of this? Do you have to die in order to attain any of this? Not necessarily. We can attain all of this on this earth. And Bhagwan Shivji is teaching this beautiful lesson in the Shiv Puran. Anyatya praptaye mukti sarupyadir munishwaraha. He's saying that when we devote ourselves to Shivji at the right place, and this place we're talking about is called Kashi. When we devote ourselves to the Lord, we can attain Sajujya Mukti, which is the highest platform of liberation. Staying close to Bhagwan, you don't have to die to do that. That's called Sajujya. Please, everyone, stay close to God. I often like to dedicate these kathas to the young children especially, because you are beginning life, you are in school, you are looking to get married, or whatever the case is, stages you are, stay close to God. That itself is an emancipation, freedom. Sarstri, attaining opulence similar to Bhagwan. You attain certain behaviors like God. What is a godly behavior? A godly behavior is to not be bothered, not be distracted by things of this world, not to possess any qualities that a human being does, right? Like that, you don't be jealous and think about people. It's a hard, but we got to do that. Third step, assuming a bodily form similar to Bhagwan. A bodily form can mean many things. It could also mean carrying yourself physically like that of God. Carrying yourself with, dignity, with grace. And then Salokya, living in the lok of Bhagwan. Your lok can be your home. Your lok, the platform can be the temple. Your lok can be the place, wherever it is, make it a godly place. And finally, Sajujya, the state of absolute unity with Paramatma. Adi Shankaracharya was asked once that how is it possible for God to be present in a human being, but yet you cannot see that God in a human being? Right? Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 and chapter 15 talked about God in a human being. How is it possible for God to be in a human being, but you cannot see that God in a human being? Right? Because God is in all of us. So Adi Shankaracharya explains. Oh, this is a story I'm planning to tell you sometimes. A beautiful story. You've never heard it before, but I'll give you a little bit of it. Adi Shankaracharya says that if you have a glass of water and you take salt and you throw it in the water and you dissolve the salt in the water, you will not see the salt anymore. You can see the salt outside of the water, you can see the water here. But the minute you dissolve the salt in the water, right, you cannot see the salt anymore. Can you see the salt? People says, no, you can't see the salt. He says, then do you think the salt is in the water? He says, well, yes, it is. But he said, you cannot see it. Well, the salt is dissolved. Similarly, the presence of Paramatma in the Jiva, the presence of God in us, is God has dissolved himself in us. We cannot see the Lord. Just like the wind fetches the stench of the garbage and also the fragrance of the flowers, it is not contaminated by it. You cannot see the wind, but you can smell the stench of the garbage, or you can smell the fragrance of the flowers, right? You can't see the wind, you can only feel the coldness and smell it. Does that mean that the wind or the breeze doesn't exist? It doesn't. It means it exists. You cannot see it, you can experience it. Similarly, God is not to be seen. This is what he tells the couple, Adi Shankar. God is not to be seen. God is to be experienced. You have to feel Bhagwan. You have to have goosebumps. You have to feel elevated. And you have to be moved. Bhagwan Shivji says, Kashi, by visiting Kashi, by doing tapasya in Kashi, one can attain the highest state of mukti in this life. That is called Sayujya Mukti, the state of absolute unity with God. We are all united with God. The water is united with the salt, but the water is so careless, it does not care for it, it does not know about it, unless somebody else sees or experiences it. Similarly, the Lord is dissolved in all of us, and as such, we have to find ways to experience that God. Now the question is asked, Prabhu, Kashi is a geographical location. It is a place where many people may not go. In your lifetime, you here or you watching, you may not go to Kashi. So the Lord is saying, going there, guarantee your sadhana will be accepted, your prayers will be accepted. A person who dies in Kashi, can you imagine this? You know, people, there are places in Kashi, they're set up in a place, if you want to die, your last stages of life, you go there and they feed you water and things like that. And people go there to die. Because it is written in the Shiv Puran that even the gods in the heavens, they want to retire at Kashi. Yo me bhaktasya vijnani tamubho mukti bhagino tirthapeksha chayatayo vihirta vihito samo. There is no deed of any sanskaras, reciting mantras or so on, that will not become fruitful when you're in Kashi. And so he says, there is no prayer that is unanswered in Kashi. There is no Atma that leaves the body and doesn't attain emancipation when they leave Kashi. Ye mukti bhumi hai. Kashi is mukti bhumi. A person who's involved in worldly pleasures, who's unmindful of dharma, in the case of death at Kashi, of course, he does not have to face rebirth. That is how powerful the place is. Rebirth is not for those who, of course, die in Kashi. As well, irrespective of a person meeting with his end, while eating, sleeping, praying, or engage in any other work in Kashi, that person attains mukti, just because of the greatness of that space called Kashi. What though becomes of us? Are we in Brampton? If you die in Brampton, what will happen? You go Brampton crematorium, you go Lotus Funeral Home, born, you're gone, done. So what happened to you if you die in Brampton? Can Kashi be wherever you want to be? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah
Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Har Har
Bole Namah Shivaya.
Uttamanam swabhabhovam paradukha sahisnuta swayam dukham sasam praptam manyenyasya varyate vrikshascha hyatakam chaiva chandanam chekshukastata ite bhuvi parathe cha daksha evam kechina अन्नदानं हुतं तप्तं सुराणं यजनं कृतं पितॄणां च कृतिं श्राद्धं सर्वमेमाक्षयं भवेत् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः
शिवाय
हर
हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय
हर
हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
अक्षयं च चलं नास्तु तीर्थभूतं महामुने तव नाम्ना च विख्याता क्षतामो भविष्यति अन्नदत्तं हुतं तप्तं सुराणं यजनं कृतं पित्राणां च कृतं श्राद्धं सर्वमेवाक्षयं भवेत्. Where is Kashi? Kashi is, yes, a geographical place in India, in Varanasi, but wherever the work of Shiva is done, wherever the Tirtha Bhumi, this is a Tirtha Bhumi, wherever a place is preserved, where Shivaji is worshipped, wherever Annadanam, wherever grains are given. If your home and grains are given, in a temple, like we feed people, grains here. Annadatam hutam taptam, wherever tapasya is done. You do tapasya here. You do tapasya in your home. Annadatam tapam taptam. Annadatam hutam taptam. Wherever tapasya is done, wherever charity of grains is done. Suranam yajanam kritam. Yajana kritam. Home. Havan. Where havan is done. Wherever charity is done. Wherever adoration of the God is done. Aditya Gananatam cha Devi Keshav Bhairava. Pitrinam cha kritam shradham. Wherever the shrad is done for the mains, the ancestors. Wherever sarvame vakshayam bhavet, that place should be considered Kashi. That place should be considered a place where Shivji resides. That could be your home, your house that you live in. But a home is a place where we enjoy pain, or where we enjoy pleasures, where we do puja. So there's so much you can do into that home. Right? There's so much you can do in that home. Then there's this, where we serve the community. What happened, Prabhu, to those who cannot go there? Then any space where charity is given, havan is done, ancestor puja is done, and the puja to the gods are done, that place is considered Kashi as well. We can all create our own Kashi in our own space. Your space that you carry as a human being can be Kashi. When one worships in Kashi, in that space, Uttamanam swabhayoyam paradukha sahishnuta swayam dukkham cha sampraptam manye yasya varyate. Noble you will become. The noble person by nature cannot bear the pain of others. When other people are in pain, a noble person, when the person worships Shiva, you become noble. And when you become noble, you cannot bear the pain of others. When others cry, you cry. When others, of course, lose, you lose. That is the mark of nobility. Nobility starts at the feet of Mahadev. They cannot bear the pain of others. They remove the sufferings of others by facing pain themselves. People go through that stage of life where they face pain, challenges, and sufferings in order to remove the sufferings of other people. Nobility starts at the feet of Bhagwan Shivji, and that place is called Kashi, where the puja of the Lord is done. Monday it will be a Kashi here. We have all Kashi here already, but Monday coming it will be a day of energies and recharging, and it's a long weekend, so you can sleep in a little in the morning, but come and experience the bliss of Ekadash Rudram. Chanting of the Rudram for 11 times at the temple. And followed by the Ekadash Rudra Abhishekam. Witness the Lord taking bath with the 11 kalash of the energized Maharudram. This is Kashi. But if at all you have the desire in life and you can afford to go to a place called Kashi, at least you must know about it. As Hindus, the Muslim people know about Hajj. Christian people know about Jerusalem. You must know about Kashi. Kashi is not a figment of somebody's imagination. Kashi is a place existing physically in India, and it can be wherever you want as well. Bole Umapati Mahadeva ki. So the first day, Tuesday, we learned about Shivji Bhagwan and the Lingam. Yesterday we learned about Nandi. And Nandi is not just a cow. Nandi is the form of who? Shivji. Nandi is Shivji himself. We learned that yesterday. And today we learn where they reside. They reside wherever devotion is. Bole Shankar Bhagwan ki jai. Those who have prasad now, please bring it up for offerings, while we will have bhajans by the children.
शंकर तेरी जटा में बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा में बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे। उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार गार के तरंगे, गार के तरंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे। गले मुंड माले कानों में है कुंडल, गले मुंड माले कानों में है कुंडल, काने को कंदमूल, काने को कंदमूल, सीने को भंगे, सीने को भंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे। उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार गार के तरंगे, गार के तरंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे। मेरे चाल कमर कशी विषराज पे चढ़े, मेरे चाल कमर कशी विषराज पे चढ़े, मस्तक में चंद्र कला, मस्तक में चंद्र कला, विभूति अंग अंग है, विभूति अंग अंग है, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे। उड़ते हैं बार बार, उड़ते हैं बार बार गार के तरंगे, गार के तरंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, शंकर तेरी जटा बहे दर गंगे, बहे दर गंगे, बहे दर गंगे।
हर हर महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे, हर हर महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ गंगे। ओ मनवारे भजले, ओ भजले तू भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी, ओ मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। भवसागर से तारे उनको, भवसागर से तारे उनको, जो जन से बेकाशी। हो मनवारे भजले, हो भजले तू भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। हो मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। पार्वती पति जता, पार्वती पति और धन धानी, हे भोले भंडारी, हे भोले भंडारी। धन संपदा लुटाते जग को, आप पगंबर धारी हो, आप पगंबर धारी। पार्वती पति और धरधानी, हे भोले भंडारी, हे भोले भंडारी। धन संपदा लुटाते जग को आप पैगंबर धारी हो, आप पैगंबर धारी। भक्त को देते महल उतारी, भक्त को देते महल उतारी। आप मसान के वासी, आप मसान के वासी। भजले ओ भजले तू भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। गंगा जी को जटा में लेकर फिर धरती पे उतारा, फिर धरती पे उतारा। हर हर गंगे जय माँ गंगे, बोल उता जग सारा हो, बोल उता जग सारा। गंगा जी को जटा में लेकर फिर धरती पे उतारा, फिर धरती पे उतारा। हर हर गंगे जय माँ गंगे, बोल उठा जग सारा हो, बोल उठा जग सारा हो। धन्य हो गई, तृप्त हो गई, धन्य हो गई, तृप्त हो गई। जो धरती थी प्यासी, जो धरती थी प्यासी। भजले ओ भजले तू भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। ओ मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। भवसागर से तारे उनको, भवसागर से तारे उनको। जो जन सेवे काशी, मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी। मनवारे भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी हो। भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी हो, भजले शिव शंकर अविनाशी।
Bole Shankar Bhagavan ki. Again, we want to say thank you to Akash and Anjali today for being our shrotas and for sponsoring the service. And we ask Bhagwan to bless them always with health and strength and long life and success. We also want to thank, we want to wish Sharmila, Dr. Sharmila Tilak, a happy birthday from all of us here at BSM and all her family in Canada and elsewhere as well. Happy birthday to you, Dr. Sharmila Tilak, and hope you spend the day very well. We'll stand for Aarti now. Yani kani chapapa.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Swami Hare Shiva Omkara. Jai Shiva Omkara, Swami Hare Shiva Omkara. Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva, Hare Dhage Dhara. Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Om Hare 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 Mahadev. Ekadane Chaturane Panchanane Raje, Swami Panchanane Raje. Hansasane Garudasane, Hansasane Garudasane, Vishwahane Saje. Om Jai Shiva Omkara. Om Hare 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 Mahadev. दो भुज चार चतुर भुज, दस भुज जे सो यशमाला वरमाला रुद्रमाला धारे स्वामी रुद्रमाला धारे चंदन मृग हर सोहे चंदन मृग हर सोहे भारी शशिधारी ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बागंबर अंगे स्वामी बागंबर अंगे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक भूतादिक संगे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव
संसार सारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवां भवानी सहितं नमामि त्वमेव माताश्च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयोद्धमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतां शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतां शिरसा नमामि सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्धसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। बोलिए भवानी शंकर भगवान की, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान जी महाराज की, सूर्यादि समस्त नवग्रह देवताओं की, विघ्न विनायक गणपति भगवान की, लक्ष्मी मैया की, शरणेश्वरी माता दुर्गा की, सरस्वती मैया की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी जी की, सूर्य नारायण भगवान की, नवदुर्गा भवानी की, गंगा मैया की, भारत माता की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, संध्या शयनम आरती की, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देव महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की नमः। पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो।